Welcome back, everybody, to the podcast. We are here once again with legendary strength coach Dan John, the man himself, and a little bit of a time crunch today, but some cool news. Dan's got a new workout book out. Dan, congratulations. We've been talking about this for a while, the Kettlebell Workout Companion. Everybody loves workout books. And can you blame them? They're just great. People just like, hey, just tell me what to do, coach. And of course, everybody loves Dan John's workouts. So what I want to do here, Dan, if you don't mind, is obviously talk about the book a little bit. And then if we could just maybe squeeze a few of your favorite examples out, tease some of these, tease maybe a few of these workouts to entice the gentle listeners, if they haven't already, which would be a great shame, to go grab a copy. I think that could be cool. And then we'll take some questions too, of course, time permitting. Yeah.
Yeah, I always feel like I have to say raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens when someone asks me my favorite workouts, Yeah. And hello, and how's the new baby, by the way?
Great. And maybe we could contextualize. Maybe you could be like, hey, your favorite workouts for like a busy dad of 27 children, to be a little bit more specific. No, little Angus is doing great. Mom is still recovering well. So, it's always hectic when, a new child enters out of exits the womb, I suppose. But this ain't our first rodeo, as the kids say, right?
No. In fact, it's funny. I was just with Elwyn, that's Lindsay's new daughter. She's starting to get that tummy time and arching around, and she'll be moving around pretty soon. And then a couple months we'll have Daisy. So it'll be with Kelly. It'll be
awesome.
Fun.
It's awesome.
Hey, and by the way, let me just get through it first. Everybody wanted me to write a paperback book on kettlebell workouts, okay? Literally was requested. So what's the first questions I get? Is it in Kindle? Is it in PDF? Is it in...
You can't wait.
No.
Yeah.
Folks, it's on Amazon.
And then once you have both of those, is it on Audible, Dan? Yeah.
And then,
Imagine an audiobook of just workouts.
Oh, my God. And when people ask about audio, it's like, we write workout books. So 2/3 of a book is me going, week
10
one.
swings, week 1. I didn't even think about that, because my book that's come out in December is with the publisher that I did my 2019 book with, and they flew me out to do an audiobook for the green book, but I haven't heard anything about an audiobook for Strong On, which I don't think it would make sense for exactly what you said. Like half the book is just week 1. There's literally 101 workouts in there. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna talk through 101 different workouts.
Picture of me starting kettlebell swing. Picture of me doing it wrong. Picture. I'm
sorry, guys. As much as I love you, I couldn't. Maybe they'll hire somebody else to do it. God love them. I'm not doing it. I'm just not going to do that.
Now, one thing I don't have to share with you is a copy of the book. I don't have one, which is not unusual, as you know. And then you have 10,000. There's no middle.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of the book is the last part. I call it the 12 Days of Kettlebells or something like that. And it's just.
Tis the season for it, yeah.
Yeah, and I have and for Christmas I'm going to do a 12 Days of Kettlebells podcast. The first one is The Body is One Piece, which is my standard for everything I do in this in training my athletes. Had an athlete yesterday after practice. The athlete's going through a rough time, and if you want your athletes to throw farther, you spend half hour walking them through life. That's because their emotional side impacts their physical. And so, and then 2 is my daily hang and sit at the bottom of the goblet squat. 3 is the hard style 3, the goblet squat and the swing and the Turkish get up. It's fun. You would probably be familiar with just about everything in the book. I do have, so I break it out a little bit, okay, if you don't want me. It's not one of the issues we have, gentle listeners, is that there's so many kettlebell exercises, but there's really only a few that people do. And it's interesting as I move more and more into working with, of the kettlebell 6, the Turkish get up got so cultish that a lot of people don't do it. But you call them naked Turkish get-ups also? Do you call them naked get-ups?
Yeah. Okay. Just the unweighted.
Okay. I have both in the book, unweighted, but I have the, I do have do have a fairly, not large, but I don't tell you how to do Turkish get-ups in the book, but I give you my get back up exercise selection.
Yeah.
And I do talk about Eddie Arco. He was Rodin's model for his great sculptures.
Mm-hmm.
And he trained with a single barbell that weighed 138 pounds, and he weighed 132. So we just did Turkish get-ups with it. But you have to remind yourself too, if you got a guy who weighs 132 doing 138, it's a different time and era.
Yeah, some good relative strength.
So I do have that in there, but I break it out. It starts off with the basics. In fact, they share that on the Amazon site. Just basically, I recommend for most people, most of the time, if you're male, the 20, if you're female, the 10. And of course, there's always that one guy. First time I did, oh wait, that's me. I'm that guy. Mm-hmm. The first time I ever saw a beast, I pressed it without any problem. Yeah. Why? Because I can press, man.
But tis a little peanut, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have the basics. I go into a basic what you'd want every day to look like kind of thing, and then I have a whole section on 1 kettlebell workouts, 2 kettlebell workouts, and then on the multiple kettlebell workouts, I don't really share much except for the way we do conga lines at the gym. Mm-hmm. Turkish get-ups. I do have my classical conditioning in 10 moves. When my godson Seth was living in a dorm, he had only 1 kettlebell, and so I put together a program for him. And I think it stands. Men's Health called it the workout of the month. So,
well, maybe we could talk about that one. That sounds pretty cool. I don't know if we've covered that one before.
Okay, well, there's a mobility workout. There's a strength workout. There's the second Saturday of the month you do Tabata swings. The fourth Saturday of the month you do Tabata goblet squats. There's a tonic workout that's just the flexibility moves. So I try to make it work out that you have 3 kind of strength workouts a week. You have that 1 Tabata day. You have a workout called the cardio hit day. So, and it flows kind of naturally.
Yeah.
After the hard, it's a 4-week program. And I tried real hard to make it flow. And it is something like in my gym situation, we did, because it's very natural and works well. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you might get 2 strength workouts and a mobility, or 2 strength workouts and a conditioner. And then the next week would be easy. It flows naturally. Because I think if you plan a mobility day and you plan a cardio day and you plan every second week Tabata day, all you have to do is just come on the other side of it and make things a little easier.
Yeah. I just, is it the same in the book? Cause I know you have a download of this online. If you just, is it the same in the book as it is? So people can just look at get the book, guys. Just get the book. But if people aren't familiar with it, you do have this. It's in the history of your.
Yeah, but people wanted a paperback. I mean, people wanted so
right, and there's nothing wrong. Hey, man, there's a lot of stuff that I have, compiled on the computer that I would gladly pay like $10 to $15, even if there's nothing new, just to have it in just one neat collection for sure.
And then I have an example 2-week template that ties in with the materials in the book, and then I have an actual really hard one we did years ago. It's one, and it's hard. It is this hypertrophy. It is a real hard weekly workout that when people want something hard, and the hip. It's funny because I bracketed out these little training programs. I'll have hip thrust supersetted with goblet squats. Next exercise is singles in the press followed by singles in the pull. Next thing is the hits just keep on coming.
Yeah.
And Friday is an all loaded carry day basically after this, but the warm up is 75 swings and goblet squats and stretches, and it's the real deal. I've got standards. I got Paul Lysingo standards there. And I kept that one, the RKC2 one I like so much.
Yeah.
Men should snatch the 200. The men should snatch the 24 200 times in 10 minutes and press the beast in 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I still like that standard. I don't think it's reasonable. I don't.
But it's like it's at least right on the edge, you know. It's not like crazy unreasonable, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a reach there, right?
Yeah.
It's reasonably unreasonable. How about that?
And so I like that because it is such a like when I tell people I expect you to snatch body weight.
Yeah. Do it.
Instantly you get this, with my college athletes, the first thing they think of, I got to lose weight. That's the first thing they say. And part of me
path of least resistance. Right?
And part of me is like, yeah, in your case.
Fair enough, right? Yeah.
I mean, that I don't think that 50, 60 extra pounds that you've been carrying since you were 12 is helping you throw farther or dump farther. Yeah, but I hope.
So what's give us do you got one off the top of your head of a fun quick workout that's in there that maybe we haven't talked about before? That'd be fun to share that, and then we'll turn to questions. Yeah, go ahead, dig it up if you
pull it up and reference it real quick, okay?
Yeah, give the people a little test drive here so they know.
All right. Hold on, your call is important to me.
Of course.
I got a new piece of art. Can you see that?
Is that Merlin that I see there?
Yeah, that's the Sword in the Stone. So a friend of mine, for a present, she redrew that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a little bit of a glare, but I see the book. I see it on the book. The book it was clear, so that's sweet.
Yeah, okay. And then of course, I've had all these other artists, put stuff up. Yeah, so okay, the Dan John Kettlebell Workout Companion. Oh, let's find something fun. Tim Anderson.
Here comes your Costco sample, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's actually a pretty good one. My first 20 days is actually pretty good.
If I do say so myself, yeah.
You guys know all these.
Don't be surprised, always getting newcomers around here.
Well, okay, I'm going to give you one that I put together for some federal employees who are on the road. Let me see if I can find the Zoom call again. Where are you?
I'm here, Dan. Listen for my voice.
Okay, what do you do if you put Zoom down? Where do you?
I don't know. It's usually in one of your tabs somewhere.
Oh God,
Here I am, Dan. Yeah.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
There we go. Good.
Old man dies. Okay. Okay, so I'll tell you the federal one. It's a really simple program, folks, it's 3 days a week. Very simple. I mean, it's so easy, template wise. You only have one kettlebell or dumbbell. You're at a hotel gym. Okay.
Groovy.
So on day one, your left hand, you do presses, rows, single side squats, suitcase carries. If you want to do one-handed deadlifts, I have a list of it. You get that done. You get a good feeling. Now, the reason you do that is because on day two, you do right hand. And a lot of people go, well, that's really not enough work. We're talking about people who are on the road, for 2-3 months in a row, maybe 40 trips a year. So anything they can get is pretty good. Now, I learned this from a buddy of mine is a strength coach from Major League Baseball team, and he took Easy Strength, and he goes, yeah, our 2-week program takes 6 weeks. And that just was a game changer for the way I coach. So if you're on the road that much and this 3-day week program takes 2.5 weeks, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Because, and then day 2, you're going to come in with your right hand and do your presses, your rows, your single side deadlifts, your one arm deadlifts, your suitcase carry, your waiter walk. And if all you've got is a 45-pound dumbbell, you're going to get a really good workout, because I've done it, and it's a lot harder to do than to say it on the Pat Flynn podcast.
Right.
And on day 3 is just simply a combination of it's the push-up swing thing that I used to do. So I use 20 swings in this example, and say like you can do 10 push-ups fairly easy, then do 1, 2, or 3. So 20 swings, 3 push-ups, 23, 23, 23. And you just do that until you kind of have a sense of, hey, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I like those types of workouts, like where
Yeah.
you kind of know, right?
Yeah.
I do that with sprints a lot. It's like, yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
And then
The stimulus has been achieved, right? Yeah.
the next time you go into the gym, you do that single side, more bodybuilder kind of thing. 2 days later, 3 days later, whatever it is, the other single side. And what you're doing is, and like I say in the book, and gentle listener, I know it doesn't sound like much, but for those of you who maybe are just kind of just things you just had a newborn, you're traveling a lot, you're stuck in hotels for a while. Workouts like that, where you just work one side of your body, is so mentally refreshing.
Yes.
Because with the next workout, you're going to work the other side.
You have to if you're OCD. I mean,
yeah. And what's nice about that is it just keeps you in there.
Yeah.
It just keeps you going.
That's cool. That's really neat. And it came from you said a friend of yours. It's a Major League Baseball.
No.
Well, I got not to brag. I do have a friend that is a strength coach for a Little League baseball team. But I don't want to sit here and name drop.
No, the point I learned from him is that when you're dealing in the real world, a 2-week program might be 6 weeks.
Got it. Yes. Good.
3-day-a-week program might be 3 weeks to do. Mm-hmm. And that, once I kind of grasped.
That's a word I try to avoid, like brewery. Yeah, like I'll do anything not to say the word brewery.
Yeah. The moment I heard that, I thought about it. It was like, well, you know what? And when people tell me something like, I've got, I'll tell you my story. I had Kelly and Lindsay. Lindsay had bronchiolitis and Kelly had bronchitis at the same time. Didn't sleep for 2 weeks. Well, Dan, what was your training during those 2 weeks? Well, it wasn't the best training in my life, but I worked out. I got some things done. That's the reality of being a dad or being a working person. And I guarantee every reader we have has had those moments where stuff happens. It's just it's hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Trying to. You got this great workout plan and, you open the door and there's 3 feet of snow. I hope it changes your decision on your workout. I hope you don't just get yourself to your car and drive off to your gym. I hope you take care of your,
right on.
Clean your, and sometimes I kind of feel, I think you're this way too, Pat, but I sometimes feel like I'm kind of alone. When I read or listen to other people online, it's like they never talk about snowstorms or, the dog got sick and pooped on the carpet,
Yep.
But that's a reality, man. And so that's okay. So enough about that one workout. But I like the book. I like it. The nice thing about working. So this is with Tim Anderson's OS Publishing. John Usadome.
Oh, cool! Yeah,
great work. And I'm gonna probably have them do these books and make them into printed books.
Awesome.
Yeah, but again, it doesn't matter if I make Easy Strength Omnibook into paperback. Someone's gonna complain about it's too expensive or it's too whatever. That's it's always something. Yeah.
But we'll just let the cool kids be our customers. All right, let's take a few questions here before we gotta roll out. Albert says, "Have you guys ever tried any E-Coat kettlebells?" And Pat, have you ever really wanted a guitar that you shouldn't get at the moment? No, actually, not too bad. On the second question, real quick, I don't know. Just like I'm a minimalist with, I like Dan. We've talked about this as another parallel, right? There's like deprivation or restriction builds creativity and capacity. Like having less gym equipment forces you to just, I don't know, get more smarter and better about your programming and ways that you exercise. Limitations are a good thing. Of course, there's an extreme where they can be inhibiting, but I'm the same way with music. Like I'm pretty skilled. Like I have one guitar that I use all the time, and I have one backup guitar for different tunings in case I break a string. And that's it. And I feel like if I can't do the things I need to do and want to do on that, and just like in the gym world where people think that the reason they're not making progress is because they don't have that piece of equipment. It's the same thing in the music world. People are like, oh, if I only had that guitar or that amp or that music effect. Nah, man, you just don't practice right enough. You just don't lift enough. So yeah, I try to keep my mind in that direction without going too far to the other extreme. As for the E-coat kettlebells, I don't know if I've tried these. What is that? Do you know what these are, Dan? What is the E-coat?
Is that powdered, Albert? Is that powdered look? Because I have one of those. I don't know. Can I just? I want to add up to what he just said, gentle listener. I taught a long time, and one of the lessons I learned: compression leads to expansion. So I'm a big fan of school uniforms because it compresses the student. I'm a big fan of telling my music class, I want you to write a song with just these three chords, G, B, and E. Okay,
Yeah.
write a song with just those three chords. But there's all these other ones. Right. There's a kind of poem called the Villanelle. There's a whole bunch of sonnets where they have rules, and they're really hard. Villanelle, do not go gentle, that good night, old age, your age, and birth. Okay, they're really hard to write. But because they're so hard to write, when you fit haikus are easy to write, but they're hard. Whenever I put rules on something or compress you, all you got, Pat, is one kettlebell. Write a book about training with one kettlebell in a basement and turning yourself in the best condition of your life. Okay, compress, compress, compress. By that, you expand. It opens your head. So I like what you said about your guitar selection, and I like what you said about how that slid over into training, because compression leads to expansion, and it is absolutely true.
I like that. Yeah, I like that phrase. All right, let's take a few more here. Bradford says, currently struggling to hang on to the bar in my sumo deadlift with overhand grip. He's not using any belt or strap. He switches to offset. Should he switch to offset grip and keep going? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're not doing anything in January, come with me to Lift-A-Palooza in Nashville, and the guy on the second day is a lifter by the name of Ed Cohen. And if you don't know who Ed is, you probably don't know what powerlifting is. But Ed's going to talk about it. I'm guaranteed he would say, switch grip. Yep. The first time I ever did that was the first time I ever deadlifted. Yeah, the gym. I think I've told you the story. The gym record was 550, and I asked Dick, "Do you think I can break that?" He goes, so he slid 555 on the bar. Slid. And as I was walking up to make it, he goes, "Oh, and put your hands like that." And that's how I learned the deadlift grip.
Awesome. So yes, keep lifting heavy, switch that grip up, and go break all of your records.
And if you're just a gentleman, and Bradford, if you're just a gentleman lifter, I would suggest flipping the grip. Maybe I wouldn't say every rep, but certainly every couple of sessions. Flip the grip around.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to go to 1,000-pound deadlift, probably not. But just do it. You'll find some interesting things about how you're built.
Here's an interesting question. Avery says, if you were limited to one kind of resistance workout for the rest of your life, what would it be? You don't have to limit the number of exercises within the workout, and likewise with a cardio workout. One workout to rule them all for the rest of your life. What is it?
Well, I mean, for me, it'd be a barbell, because you got so many more options with progressive resistance. But with Pat and I being more noted for kettlebells, I guess the kettlebell. No, but I would say still the barbell. There's a lot of things you can and can't do with a barbell. There's a lot of things you can and can't do with a kettlebell.
Yep.
And then for cardio, I would say a dog. There, that would be.
Just walk that dog and a barbell. That's great. Yeah.
It's funny because
you can run with the dog too and walk with them. You can do all sorts of things with the dog.
So, and the nice thing is that they will remind you.
They'll hold you accountable. They're accountability buddies. That's what they are.
Accountability buddy. Yeah. So we have no longer have Sirius, but now, but we have Buddha, and he reminds me of Sirius when I don't know, a decade ago, when it was like, I'd walk up the stairs, first thing in the morning, coffee, cigarette hanging out the side of my mouth,
So
in
cool.
in my my robe,
Mhm.
and my flippity flop sandals, and my hair
Put
up
the
my hair up in the hair dryer,
flick the butt yeah. Against the wall.
and he'd be there like,
Dan, this is what I grew up with, man. I mean, you're just bringing me home, Daddy-o, right?
goddamn kids, get up.
I'm from Delaware County, Pennsylvania. I get all about this.
The nicest piece of art I have is my Elvis Presley decanter from Jack Daniels.
This is what you pay for, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy it. Let's take one more question here. Jesse says, Dan, I love easy strength, but struggle to go all in. I keep going back to 531. I'm 35 and have great mass and strength. Can easy strength build size and mass as well as 531? After 40 days, can I just keep going?
Yeah, I mean, I generally do 2 easy strengths back to back, so 80 days. When I was doing easy strength for fat loss with Olympic lifting, gosh, I went 9-10 months. I mean, with the same basic template.
Awesome.
Yeah. Does it build muscle mass like 531? Well, the thing about Jim's program is that you are chasing those, three of the weeks of a month. You're chasing those reps, which does, obviously, easy strength goal is to get you as strong as you need to be with the least amount of effort. And I think maybe it's my fault. I don't explain that well enough, but if you're an elite discus thrower, if you're an elite athlete, if you're somebody who needs to work on other qualities, and that's why I keep coming back to fat loss, because easy strength, the workouts, all they do is prep you for the walk after. That's all it does. You free up the fatty acids. How do you free up fatty acids? Drink coffee, sleep, fast, work out, go for a walk, and those seem to be the best. But please don't ever think one program fits all. I would say if you're having success on 531, keep doing it. My brother Gary, I think, is in his 9th year of 531.
Nice.
Now, we are wired differently. The John family are wired differently. We can actually do a program and just keep doing it, and which makes us outliers, it seems to me, on the internet. And so if you find something like that that's working, I have this phrase I use a lot. It works so well, I stopped doing it. So,
We're all familiar with that at some point or other. Very good. Okay, before we say goodbye, Dan, remind us of the book one more time, the name, the best place to get it, and all that good stuff.
The only place to get it is the place with the river in South America.
The Wild Amazon.
Yeah, and you guys I think you all should talk to each other when you ask me to do things. If you all ask me to have paperback books and I give you a paperback book, you can't then ask for PDFs, because when I give you PDFs, you ask for paperback books. So it's the Hardstyle Kettlebell Companion. It's over there on Amazon. I think the price is high, but I don't control that. So I'm sorry.
But you know what? Look at all the value Dan gives us, guys.
Go.
You're going to love it. You know it's going to be good. So.
The one thing about it is thick with information. It is.
And not only that, but here's the thing. Will it cost you more than 3 platters of riblets at Applebee's? You got to make the right sorts of comparisons, guys, right? It's at least worth 3 servings of riblets. Come on.
Well, I'll tell you what it is, man.
And I like riblets.
It's one martini in downtown Salt Lake.
Oh, come on. I guess one could say whatever they want.
I was getting shocked when martinis were up to 17. So yeah, real quick, I know you got to bounce. When I travel, the first thing I do is one of the things I do is go to the hotel bar and I buy a beer at a hotel bar. And that's how I figure out the conversion rate.
Yeah, yeah. It's good.
Yeah,
That's
no,
good.
that's
That's how
I
you
do it.
check in. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because it's like hotel bars tend to travel, and they're a little more expensive than normal places.
Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
so and what I'm realizing is that here in Salt Lake, things have gotten in downtown. We have this company that shouldn't. It's called, well, I can't, Goldman Sachs. It should have closed in 2007, but it got saved by the government. I wish they'd do that to my business.
Yeah,
And it's
nice.
a huge, and so downtown Salt Lake has a whole bunch of these 20 and 30 somethings that go to these bars and pay that kind of money for a crappy martini.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? Instead, they could be doing your workout companion, so they could just spend the money there, which I know all of our listeners will do. So check it out. Head over to Amazon. Give Dan John a little love and support. Appreciate you, Dan. Thank you, and we'll see
Love
you
you, Pat.
guys
See you
all
next week.
next
Bye-bye.
week. Take care. Hit like, subscribe.